let's count down. 1, 2, 3. Welcome
to.
Okay, all right. Let's just.
I
No,
didn't-
it's okay. Let's just restart. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to.
Dude. Really? We're trying to start this podcast, dude.
I know. I'm sorry.
Bro,
I'm making this up.
Do you want me just to do it? I can just do it.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably
Okay.
better.
All right. Welcome to the Hey Brah podcast. It's our very first episode, and we're here to get started and have a great time and talk about anything and everything that comes to our mind. I'm Ryan,
I'm Caleb.
and we are the two bras in the
Yes.
Hey Brah podcast.
Yes, of course. It's probably not the most, usual of names for a podcast, but
Yeah, but that's kind of what we have always, for as long as I can remember, really always called each other is Brah. I guess what happened, was the first time we did it was when South Park came
Yeah.
out, and it was the episode where Randy, I forget the context, I don't know why I forget, but I remember he just walks around in a circle like, what's up,
Just
brah?
beefing with
Huh, brah?
somebody.
Yeah, it's beefing. So
respect
I
you.
don't even remember who sent the first time, like called each other Brah, but for whatever reason it just stuck, and we've just been calling each other Brah ever since. So we were like trying to think of a name. We're like, what could we do? Probably spent a week kind of thinking different names for this podcast, and we couldn't think of anything. And all of a sudden we're like, why don't we just do Hey Brah? That's like something we say all the time. We
Yeah.
say Hey Brah, and then we go on more the text. Why don't we just do that as the name?
You know the usual. Every podcast names has to be an inside joke or something.
It has
like
to
that,
be an
so
inside joke or some kind of story or something. Because if it's not, then what's the point?
it's just
Every good podcast starts with an inside joke or a funny name.
exactly.
Mhm.
If you don't have one, you're not doing it right. I tell you what.
You want to talk about simping?
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah.
that's,
all right.
That's
Let's
my
talk about
favorite thing to
simping.
do.
Yeah, simping's pretty great, right? Yeah. What's your experience with simping?
I am not a simp lord. We all know that.
You're not a simper? I could have
I mean,
sworn.
I mean, okay. Well, would a simp have a significant other?
Well, you can. Well, I guess it depends on who you ask. But to me, you could simp for your significant other, maybe. But I don't expect you to be a simp. I don't actually think you're a simp. But
Well,
I think you
I was-
could be a simp for anybody, even if you're dating them, right? Like you could even be a simp for your mom if you wanted. It'd be a little weird,
I don't
but you
think-
could. Some people,
think that's-
if we're in Alabama right now, we
Yeah,
could.
that's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Or your
down-
sister. That'd probably be
down
more like
there,
your
yeah.
sister,
That's-
stepsister. But you know,
I mean, I guess you could say I'm a simp.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think my girlfriend would say I'm a simp
yeah.
because we've had this debate before. She's
Have
like-
you really?
Yeah. It's like.
How so?
It's like I'm not. We'll be watching TikTok or something like that. And she's
Yeah.
like, or it's like the simp TikTok.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, good thing I'm not one. She's like, she looks over at me and is like, you are. You know you are. And it's like, okay,
Oh
maybe
man, You're
maybe
getting
I'm
called
too
out.
nice. Maybe I'm too nice
too nice.
to the female race.
To
sometimes.
the female race. So she's not saying specifically to her, but she's saying in general, you're a simp for like not for everybody, but for everybody is like the idea.
I'd say.
So almost she's just calling you really nice. So it's a compliment, right?
I no.
No.
She's probably. I mean, simp probably fits into a description of myself.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Well, I mean, as long as you don't also go by cuck, you're probably fine. Because simp kind of derived from, how cuck was really popular for a while, like on Twitter and everything, probably a year ago. And now simp is popular because it's similar. Not the same by any means, but they're similar.
Simp is cuck light.
It's cuck light.
Yes.
Exactly. It's like the Bud Light of beer.
Yeah.
It's like the Bud Light of, I guess, like what, sex talking
Yeah, sure.
and sex scenarios.
Being nice.
Being
What is the? I need to check what's the Urban Dictionary definition of simp.
of simping. That's a good question because like I know it's evolved. I don't even know. I think it came originally from the word simpleton for whatever reason. I don't know. I read that somewhere and I don't know what that actually means. Like how those two words actually work together with how we know it now and what simpleton means. But I know that it's a very popular thing now, and I know some people. I mean, they spend thousands of dollars on people like Pokimane and other like Twitch streamers, and even guys get simped after from girls and other guys. It's crazy. I mean, I've seen even like guy streamers get thousands of dollars from either from girls or from somebody like that are simping for them and buying them things because they want to like hang out or go on a date or whatever. And it's like No one is safe from the simping. No one is safe.
Well, Urban Dictionary gives the definition of simp as a slang insult for men who are seen to be too attentive and submissive to women, especially out of a failed hope of winning some entitled sexual attention.
Ooh, that sounds about right. Yeah,
So-
that sounds pretty accurate.
After reading that, I don't think I qualify.
See,
as a
that's
simp.
what I was saying. I don't think you're really like an actual simp because you're not you're not giving money away or doing something like that to try and get like a woman's favor to take her to bed. You're just you're just nice. You're just a friendly person.
To give so much attention to
Yeah,
get the action.
yeah.
You know what I'm
You can
saying?
just get whatever
Wink,
action
nudge,
you want.
nudge.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
That was a long schlong joke if you didn't get that.
Well, I mean, I don't think my girlfriend and I have ever had the conversation of if I was a simp. I don't think I am, though. I know some of my friends are that I play with online because
simp
not simp in the extremist term, but they do simp for this person, a streamer, and it's a funny story. So one of the people I play with is named Nova Tastical.
Oh, we're gonna dox him real quick.
Yeah,
first
I know.
episode, huh?
It's his PlayStation name. It's not his real name. It's PlayStation name. And so whenever he streams, we play like a Jackbox party pack night game, whatever. When he streams his screen, there's another streamer called Natastical that shows up, and everyone's like, she's like really hot, and everyone is like, I'm simping for her, and she does streams about like her open sexuality and stuff, and she's like just chatting, and everyone's just like, oh, I'm simping for this girl so much. Like, who would have thought that being friends with Nova would make us simp for this random girl? And they have attended her stream many times.
Is this the girl that was in the Drew Gooden video? Shout out Drew Gooden if you haven't watched.
Yeah, Drew Gooden's pretty great, and Danny Gonzalez too, and Curtis Connor.
Yes,
those are all. I mean, the
trio.
trifecta. You
Yes,
can't
of
really
course.
watch one without watching the others. You know, whatever.
Do you think that'll get them to want to be in our podcast?
I hope so. Maybe they do want to be in the podcast if we shout them out enough times. It's like the people that eat the pieces of paper every day, like eating a piece of paper with whoever's face on it until they shout me out in the video, like PewDiePie.
Yes.
I did that to PewDiePie one time, like eating a piece of paper with PewDiePie's face on it every day until he shouts him out.
You
And
have
after
to-
like day 85, he finally was like, okay, you can stop.
Yeah.
So maybe we should do it every day. We'll just make a
Shout out
podcast
to
every
them.
day just
Adam.
to shout out
Adam,
Danny,
whenever we
Drew, Curtis, and anyone else we can think of that we want to come on. We'll just shout them out. Eventually, it's the rule of what, large numbers, right? They
Yes,
have
of
to.
course.
Eventually, they have to come.
just gotta add them multiple times.
We just
until
gotta
they get
almost like
annoying,
stalk them. We have to simp for them. We have to simp on them. We're full circle.
Full circle. We have to simp for the
simp for
trio.
Danny, Drew, Curtis, and anyone else we can to get them on this podcast.
And this isn't a joke. We're really simping.
Yeah,
for
we're
you
gonna
guys.
start simping. You can look at our social medias, and we will begin
This
simping.
isn't a joke.
I've already laid the groundwork. I've already met them, so they know my face,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say,
they're
you-
not gonna know how they know me because they saw too many people to remember. But they're gonna know in the back of their minds they recognize the face.
You were
so
on
then
stage,
that's gonna
though, so
establish
that gives you even.
Yeah,
bigger
exactly.
edge.
Yeah, I got on stage with them, so they're gonna really be like, man, this guy looks so familiar, and they're gonna be interested, and then they're gonna want to reach in, and they're gonna be like, oh man, they talk about us on their podcast all the time, and then it's an easy in. We're good.
This is,
Yeah, it's a foolproof plan.
Honestly, I would agree.
Yeah.
But getting back on topic.
Yeah. Okay. So
Simping.
where were we? So we were
Talk about your simp friend.
Oh yeah. So yeah, everyone in that friend group, they all simp for her. I mean, she doesn't actively stream as far as I know. Maybe she does. I don't know. But they actively watch her saved Twitch streams because they're all about like sex and their Q&A with people, and it's like kind of weird, but like they definitely simp for her in every way besides giving her money. And if she was streaming more, they probably would give her money.
Not simping then.
Yeah, I know. Well, if she was streaming more, they probably would give her money because they do find her attractive.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was just funny that the coincidence was that we were going to play Jackbox and we're like, who is this? And then it ended up being some like simp worthy quote unquote woman that people that in my friends group will chase after.
Wait, you were playing with her?
No. Oh God, no. If we were, then I think that would have been the dream.
Bad.
That would have been the dream for some of them. They'd have been like, oh my God, no. I have never spoken to this person, so
Okay.
I apologize if Natastical does not appreciate being talked about, being simped over, but it's happening.
I would take it as a compliment.
Yeah, it's if anything, it's a compliment. And hey, if you're talking openly about your sexual stuff, I'm sure you have simps that are following you, and you're probably aware of it.
Yeah.
As that doesn't mean it's okay, but some people can be a little extra. That's for sure. Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
We can't talk about simping without talking about the biggest simp out there.
Who's that?
iDubbbz.
iDubbbz. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. He had a lot of drama there for a little while, didn't he? Because he was. I don't. Okay, where do you stand on that? Like, what's your thoughts and what?
I think.
What do you think?
That is the stupidest shit I've ever. The people being upset.
Yeah,
about that,
yeah. Okay, I didn't know. I was trying to sit here like, okay,
No,
how does he think?
Who does he think he is?
Yeah, how dare
being
he?
Okay
How
with
dare
his
he be okay with his
girlfriend
girlfriend having body positivity, doing whatever she wants?
Kid.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting here thinking like, okay, how is he gonna take this? What I don't really care. Is however whatever you think is your opinion. But I was like, how do I have to disagree with him here? No. Yeah, so no, I don't understand why. And he was still getting hate after he made the video. Like, hey, it's my girlfriend in the sense that like she can do whatever she wants. She's a free woman. Like I'm with her, but she can do what she wants. I'm not gonna tell her what she can and can't do. People are like, oh, how could you? Like you're cool with other people like seeing your girlfriend naked, and he's like, I don't care. And they're like, oh, you're so whatever. It was such stupid drama. I don't understand. I don't get why there were so many issues there. It doesn't make any sense.
It's just, I don't get it.
But I mean, it is what I mean. That's the kind of thing too, though, with the internet is no matter what you do, it's almost always going to make somebody upset. Like even if you're doing something that's going to save 1 million lives, they might be like, well, why didn't you save 1,000,010? Like you could have saved 10 more.
Yeah.
And it's like it doesn't matter. So like whatever you do, even if it's not bad at all, people are going to say something about it because it is what it is. Like making a podcast. Why would you start a podcast instead of going to work and donating it all to charity?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, like we could, sure.
Like,
but
I think the biggest example of that where you can do everything you can and people still hate you is like Elon Musk.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I was watching the Cold Ones podcast with PewDiePie.
Oh, sure.
A little earlier.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how Elon Musk's his biggest idol and how
PewDiePie's biggest.
Yeah, and how he can do so much good because he's all the technological advances he's making and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But people still find a way to hate him.
Yeah, and I totally Elon is an interesting person. I personally I like what he does, and he's a really like you said, very innovative, and he's really great for like the technological advancements. I'm all for it. I love Teslas and I love all that good stuff. But I totally get where people are coming from too, because he's a little eccentric, he's a little weird. So like I can see how that can kind of rub people the wrong way, because he's like some weird, tech billionaire guy, like billionaire, huge, and then he's naming his kid like X Ash A24 or something, and it's I don't know his name, but like that it's just like those things where like it's just weird, and then you're like, really, this weird guy gets to be a billionaire?
You just have to look at it like, okay, that makes sense.
I know, and I'm all for it. I think it's great. I like it's and he's a meme lord, so it's all I wouldn't say he's good at it, but he's into memes. I wouldn't say he's like the top meme king. He's just into it. So then, therefore, by his status, he can spread the word of the good meme. May not be able to make the good meme, but he can spread the word.
I guess so.
He's okay.
If you ask me, his memeing quality is
lacking.
Doo-doo.
It's doo-doo. Yes. Ooh, that's a hot take. But Elon Musk's meme quality is doo-doo. Heard it here first, folks.
The infamous my dolphin isn't working with the deer in the pool.
Is he the one that came up with that?
No, but he's like, this is hilarious or something like that. That's what he tweeted.
Oh, so did that like ruin all credibility?
I would for
you
for
for
me
him.
Yes, like
not in general for everybody, but for you that was like where
you need to simmer down. We're gonna cancel this right here.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of. I think I've noticed, especially the last. I mean, obviously memes have been around for a long time, since at least 2010. That like memes have really been what we now know as memes. Mm-hmm. But especially the last like 2 years, there's been a lot of really creative ones and really weird ones and not funny ones, but some that are really funny. Like I never thought the Rise and Shine thing was funny by Kylie Jenner when she sang it to her kid, and I never ever thought that was funny. It was annoying to me, but I get why people thought it was funny. But man, it was not funny to me. But then there's things where I find funny that are probably really stupid to other people, and they're not at all fun. Like I think deep fried memes are so funny. I don't know why. They're dumb. They're so stupid. but at the same time, I'm like all for it. I love just looking at stupid or there's a subreddit called OK Buddy Retard, and that's the subreddit name. I'm not saying the R word because I shouldn't say that necessarily.
We can bleep that out. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll bleep it out, or if we don't, you know that we intended to, but I just don't know how to bleep stuff out yet. So yeah, that's probably what happened. And so that subreddit is, I mean, it's literally the dumbest humor I could ever find. Everything is it's like everyone acts like they're in second grade, and they talk like they're in second grade. They format the memes wrong on purpose. They put like your face when this happens, and it's the funniest thing because it's just so stupid. It makes no sense, and I've tried to think about like how can I make those memes. How can I do it? I can't do it.
I'll look at them. I was like, I fucking done that.
No, but that's the thing. Is like I think, oh, that's so funny. That's so simple. But at the same time, I try and think of like a comment or like something to actually post. I can't think of anything. Yeah. Like it's actually hard to make that actually good content that way because my mind just doesn't work that way. So I don't know what. Like it makes me laugh and it's really funny, but I can't figure out how to actually make the memes that way or make like a comment because I see all these comments that are really funny too, and they're like, "Oh, for real though," like this, and it works like really well with the post. But I can't ever. I'm bad with commenting anything in general on Reddit or anything, but especially in that subreddit, I have such a hard time because I just can't. I can't make myself be that way, like be the way that everyone else is in that subreddit is compared to like normal. It's like I can't make myself go back to second grade and type that way. It's just weird. I can't think of something funny that way, but people do, and it's great. I love that subreddit. It's kind of offensive sometimes, but sometimes that can make for the best humor, just depending on what the joke is.
I would agree. Mm-hmm. And as we say that, all the Memelords out there, we salute your creativity, and you are in fact braver than the U.S. Marines. So thank you.
Thank you. That's a hot take too, but one I'm willing to stand behind. Although, yeah, I will. I will stand behind it. Yeah. I watched the movie Jarhead the other day though, and that made me feel a lot of sympathy for the Marines though. They go through a lot. Well. But I'd say equal. I put them at equal.
They're both same.
They fight for different things, but they both fight with their lives nonetheless. Yes. We can put it that way. That could be their slogan. Like the Memelords and Marines like together, we fight for different things, but we both risk our lives doing it, or something like that. Yes, I like it. Yeah, and then put or something like that at the end of it, and then that'll be a good slogan.
So Memelords need to have their own holiday. And,
one day. I think it should be like a weekend, kind of like a Easter weekend, like how you get the weekend off from Easter, or you get for Christmas even you get a couple days early. Be like that. Memelord weekend. More Memelord weekend. Yeah, exactly. And then everyone can just take the weekend and make memes. That's the whole point.
Perfect.
So like how you're supposed to remember Martin Luther King on Martin Luther King Day, or you're supposed to remember the veterans, you should remember the Memelords and remember the memes of times past.
They deserve it. Mm-hmm. Speaking of memes, I don't even know what year it was but the peak meme quality was started with Ugandan Knuckles.
Ugandan Knuckles. It was. Oh yeah. Yep.
Peak comedy right there.
Ugandan Knuckles is really good. I remember back because this was back in high school, so it would have been 3 years ago, almost. Yeah, it would have been like almost exactly 3 years ago. We Are Number One. I watched every single video that showed up on my suggested feed of those. For whatever reason, that was one of the funniest things, and it still is funny to me. Like that's the thing about that meme is it's still funny to me. That was one of the funniest things I saw, and it was also just like clever. So a lot of them were really clever. They weren't funny. They were just like, oh, that's cool. Like that's a smart way to do it. But some of them were just so funny. They would mix mash, like all the different ones. I don't know what my obsession was with it, but I just loved that. I loved it. It was so good, and they're all so creative. That was one of the ones where, like, when I think of memes, that's one of the main ones I think of because everyone made like their own edits. Everyone added things to it, changed things to it. It was so like creative. It was so cool.
This is bringing me back to, what was it, like junior year zoology when you would play these videos? And
yes.
I'd try to get me to watch.
So I guess it was 4 years ago then, wasn't it?
It would have to be.
Yeah.
but I have to confess that
Didn't think they were very funny.
I just
That's
tried
okay.
to
That's okay.
enjoy it to be nice.
That's and I appreciate that. I would have been a little upset at the time, but
Yeah.
looking back, I can totally understand why they're not very funny to people.
just
I used to
respect the
watch the show
taste.
when I was a kid, so I don't know if that helped. I don't know if you did or not.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
I also thought, and this was even when I was a kid. Did you ever watch the Lazy Town remix with Little John?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that was funny?
That was pretty
Okay,
good.
okay. So I was saying, because I used to watch that a lot when I was like young, probably like 12. So I watched that a lot, and so then seeing it, translated to this different part of Lazy Town instead was
The
like
cooking by the book remix?
yeah, cooking by the book. Yeah, exactly. So that when I watched that when I was like 12, it made me laugh a lot, and I watched it so many times, but I totally get why it wasn't funny to you, why We Are Number One was not funny to you. Totally understand. Like I said, there's a lot of memes that I don't find funny at all, but hundreds of thousands of people on Twitter will retweet them and share, like them all the time. I'm like, this is not funny, and I hate them. I hate certain memes. Like I am a boomer when it comes to TikTok. Like
no.
I know I'm
This
a
is
boomer.
something we're gonna have to disagree
I'm
with.
not saying that TikTok's bad. I'm not like TikTok bad. Like some people, less people are doing that every day. I'm not saying TikTok is bad. It's just one of those things where I was so stubborn to adopt it. Like I should have gotten into it from day one. I should have not. I will say I'm gonna call it Danny and Drew here because they made me think it was really bad, and now it's not that bad. But when they were talking about it like a year and a half ago or a year ago, they made it sound like it was all cringe, like all little kids, like you shouldn't be in it. And it probably was back then, especially. So like I was like, I'm never gonna get TikTok. That's for kids. Like it's dumb. But now that I see it now, it's like, okay, there's some funny stuff on there. I don't ever use TikTok, but I go on like Reddit or Twitter and watch TikTok videos that are like the funniest ones or whatever, and they're funny. But I don't think I will ever actually download TikTok because it's kind of one of those things where now I am so far into it, not having it, that I don't want to cave. I'm going to be stubborn about it, I guess, if that's the way to say it.
It's not caving, I tell you.
It is though, because I've been so stubborn for so long. You're missing out.
It'd be a rejuvenation for
Maybe it might be, but I don't. But what if I get it and I shame myself? I lose my pride, and then I don't like it. Then I didn't like it, and I lost my own pride.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give you a steamy hot pile of a take right now.
Steamy hot pile of take. Let's hear it.
TikTok is better than Vine.
Whoa.
It's better than Vine.
Whoa.
I'm gonna say that right now.
Whoa.
But I'm biased because I never really. I mean, I watched Vine, but the Vines I would watch weren't as funny as some of these TikToks I'm seeing.
Ooh. Well, do you think part of it has to do with the time length?
I think it helps.
Because you can do more creative things with 30 seconds.
You get
up to a minute. So you can do way more stuff with a minute than 7 seconds. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, totally. I think the difference between Vine and TikTok was just that quick. Usually, if they're good, it's like funny.
That's the thing. Most of the TikToks that I have saved are like 5 to 10 seconds long.
Oh, really? So. Okay. So then that really isn't necessarily that big of a change.
I'll show you some if I find any good ones.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll start sending them so you're like, okay, maybe I need to give it a try.
Yes. Yep. I know, and I do watch a lot of them, just not on TikTok. So it's just one of those things, like I said, where I just am so stubborn, and I've been against it since it was Musically, because it's the same thing.
You cannot compare Musically.
But Musically became TikTok. Thing. I know it's different, but I'm saying I was against it from when Musically was the baby. Now I'm still against it. That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to admit that I have a boomer mindset when it comes to TikTok. And I do, and I'm willing to admit it clearly, and I do. And it's not good, but it is it's who I am. I'm a TikTok boomer.
At least you're admitting it.
I am.
That's the first step.
It's the first step to what? To fixing the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, to admit you have a problem. Or no, first step to fixing the issue is admitting you have a problem.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
But I do enjoy TikTok very much because it satisfies my strange, unique sense of humor. Just the
your beans side of TikTok.
Yes, beans side of
beans.
TikTok. Right?
See, I do like bean memes.
Yes.
Is it actual beans, like baked beans and things?
Well, sometimes.
Or
but,
is
like,
it just, or is it just a type of humor
it's
that
just
it fits
I
into
think you
the,
could say both.
Yeah.
There's beans involved, but not everything has to be beans. But
yeah.
it's hard because most of my friends, my
Uh-huh.
other friends, don't enjoy my sense of humor. They think I have a stupid sense of humor, but in reality, they just have a dry,
They
bland sense of
they
humor that
do.
they don't
Yeah,
understand.
they do. See, and I'm pretty accepting of most humors. There's not there any things that I find that aren't at least somewhat funny to me. Most of the stuff that isn't funny to me is like middle-aged person funny,
Yeah.
like Ellen, and
No.
like TikToks and videos that are made for people that are that age, which is
Yeah.
fine. It's funny to them and that's great, but to me it's just not, and that's okay. But I definitely think most things I can find are funny, or if they're not funny, I'm like I can see why that's funny. But I'm into weird humor. I like I said, I like nuked memes. I like okay, buddy. I like Wall Street bets, which that is a whole nother level. I mean that I could go off on a whole tangent about that. It's all about stock trading, like on Robinhood, the free app, but they literally call themselves autists, like autism, like they have autism, and I've seen people, and I'm not exaggerating here, lose $100,000 and then like brag about it and are excited. I'm not. It wasn't photoshopped. It wasn't fake. They were verified to have actually lost that much money because they always say YOLO'd. They YOLO'd on a on a certain stock, and then it just clearly did not hit, and people went with them, and then they all lost money, and they're all like, yeah, we did it, and then people make like videos and they make gifs and they like overlay. It is so weird, but it's so funny because it's just like these people are idiots and they're losing so much money. Usually, not always,
but they're doing.
But they're doing it for they're having
getting
fun.
the memes,
and they're making memes, and they literally they'll like they'll lose 420 or 42,069 cents, and they'll be like, all right, I'm done. I'm not even gonna try and make any more money because they're like, oh, it's 420.69. I'm leaving. And they get like hundreds, or like not hundreds, 1,000 or more upvotes for a somewhat small subreddit, and it's like, and even Bloomberg, like the actual company, will quote Wall Street bets as like a source for stocks, but it's like, I'll have to show you sometime. And if anyone is listening and if you've never heard of it and you're like just want to check it out, go to like the top of the month or top of all time and just like look at how stupid some of these posts are. Like they're ridiculous, but it's so funny because people don't care. They're just losing money and they don't care. They're just like, all right, I lost my life savings and oh well, I did it for the karma on Reddit, whatever.
So worth it.
It's so worth it. So worth it. It's so crazy.
I'll never be stupid enough to do anything like that. But I praise the courage of the Memelords out there.
Yeah. Well,
doing it for entertainment.
And I made the mistake of when I first got into. I was using Robinhood a little bit. I was like, oh, I wonder what's some good places on Reddit to look at stuff. And so I found Wall Street bets. And I definitely should not have used that as advice. But I only put $100 in to like mess with. And I went in on Facebook, made a lot of money, and then I followed one of their things and I lost it all because it was like, oh, if it was like a whole long post about if this is gonna happen, this is happening, and so this happened, so you have to do this, and I was like, well, that sounds right. That sounds like bulletproof logic. So you gotta just do it, and then it did not work. I should not have listened to the autists.
That was your problem. You listened to random Redditors.
I shouldn't have done it.
You could have asked your best pal who was a finance major.
I should have. Although this was like 2 years ago. So this was like before I was just messing with it, and I was like, "This is cool. I love the DD, the due diligence that they made on the stock that did not work. It was not good, and it sounds great. You're like, oh, that's perfect. It's gonna make me money. There's no way it can fail. It's gonna go up, and we're good. And then it doesn't go up. It doesn't do it.
Stupid.
It never works.
Stupid.
It never works. So let's see. That's another one of the memes I like. I like Shrek memes. Those are just classic. You can't beat Shrek memes. Shrek is great. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's more, but I'm trying to think what else there is that I.
Just any mainstream meme that gets killed by PewDiePie with the meme reviews.
Meme review.
Those are good.
Meme review is always good.
Copyright.
Oh wait, didn't mean to do that. No copyright strike, please. Sorry, didn't mean to copyright strike us. again, I don't know how to beep it out, so instead of beeping, I'm just gonna let it stay in. Hopefully, don't share this with PewDiePie. Reverse psychology.
Yeah,
don't share it with PewDiePie because he will copyright strike us.
Yeah.
And so don't do it.
Don't want that.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Because what platforms is this gonna be on?
It'll be on Apple. It'll be on Spotify. We can do SoundCloud. We can do.
Do we want to make a YouTube channel for it?
Yeah, we can make a YouTube channel. Yep, we can do that, and then. For now, obviously, we'll just have audio, and then in the future, once we have more of like a capability to like do video or whatever, we can do
we
like
could bring that to the masses.
Bring that to the masses. Show our beautiful faces to the masses. Because right now you could find our faces pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we're basically connected to this.
Yeah, we're basically connected. But I mean, if you didn't want to know what our faces look like, you could just think we're faceless people.
Yeah.
If you wanted to know, you could find out pretty easily. But
it's the mystery that will bring people.
It's the mystery. Yeah, and then the people will get a few episodes in. They say, I just can't do it. I need to know what they look like.
I need to know.
And then they'll see us, and then they'll leave, and then they'll be like, oh shoot, I don't like these guys. Sure. They just no.
Idiots.
Idiots.
They think they are.
Yeah, they think they could start a podcast. No, they can't. Yeah. They can't. Well, I mean, I guess we could say our time is wrapped up for this episode. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? We think we got some good material and some memes today, and a little bit of simping and a good introduction for the first episode of our mini to come.
I think so.
Yeah.
But do you want to do the thing where we talk about something that we think is very important? And
then I think we should talk about that.
Do you want?
Yeah. So I'm gonna first say thanks for watching this first episode. Feel free to listen again on other episodes on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. Follow us and subscribe wherever applicable on each of those places if you enjoyed.
We do have a Instagram.
Yep, we do. You can plug that if you want.
Our Instagram is the Hey Brah Podcast, and we do have a Twitter as well. So you could find us at, let's see here. We are at Hey Brah Official on Twitter and the Hey Brah Podcast on Instagram. So
Hey Brah Podcast on Instagram and Hey Brah Official on Twitter. I will put that in the description of all of the podcasts. So if you're ever interested, you can check in for updates and ask us questions if for whatever reason. If you want to ask us a question to answer on the podcast, if you're so inclined, by all means, you are more than welcome to.
And that could be a good topics we could have, or a good, not topics, but good segments we could have.
Yeah, exactly. If we get enough, we can obviously, if we only have a few at a time, we can just answer them. But if we get enough in the future, we can make that a segment where we talk about whatever you're curious about.
The stupider, the better.
The stupider, the better. But we will take any question.
Yes.
So I think with that, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Don't forget to follow and subscribe if you're interested or if you enjoyed. Thanks for listening. And we just want to talk about one more really important thing that we had in our minds. We just wanted to really talk about greenhouse gases.